Whether it costs me votes or not, I don't care. I tell the truth. They hammered me, and then they found out they were wrong, and so many people have apologized to me.
Oh, I don't apologize. Everybody knows what's going on.
If Jeb Bush was in my position, he would have folded. He wouldn't have gone, which I could have done very easily. All I have to do is be silent. I can't apologize for the truth.
Unapologetic and on top for now. Donald Trump now leading the pack. The latest Fox News poll of Republican candidates, there you have it. He's at 18%, Walker at 15%. Kayleigh McEnany says Trump's honesty is actually winning him support, but Hallie Heath Manning says that his momentum will not last. All right, Kayleigh, to you first.
You know, Charles, I really think that Donald Trump is speaking the truth. He is authentic. I think voters find that refreshing. GOP primary voters are tired of buttoned-up politicians saying one thing and then doing another. Donald Trump is saying what people want to hear. He speaks out against illegal immigration, and then, unfortunately, 2 weeks later, we see his words come true in the murder of Kate Steinle, that sad death. And then again, with military bases, gun-free zones, we see that happen this week. All unfortunate events, all things that are stoppable, and Donald Trump is bringing these issues to light.
Hallie is rocketing up the polls. There's no denying that. Why do you think it's just short-lived?
Well, he may be rocking the polls with likely Republican primary voters, but he doesn't play well with people outside of the Republican base. And we have to remember, after primary season, there is a general election. And something that
so are you giving him the nod then? Are you giving him the GOP nod already?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think we ought to be fearful of that, and we have to be careful about how we treat him because, again, one of the things that drives me crazy about politics in this country is the cult of personality. We get hung up personality politics rather than talking about the variety of issues that are facing the country. That's the conversation we should be having.
You know, Kayleigh, in all fairness, a lot of established Republicans, or you might call them establishment Republicans, are almost echoing the same comments that Hallie just said.
Yeah, it's true. But look, I am very uncomfortable with the way that people have mischaracterized what Donald Trump said. I don't like his tone. I think we do need an inclusive tone, a Reagan-esque type tone. That being said, Donald Trump said when Mexico sends people, he did not criticize, condemn an entire ethnicity, which is how he's being portrayed in the mainstream media.
Could he have tried to clean it up, though? Because I think the part that a lot of people find a little unnerving is that, hey, you didn't mean it. You weren't using a prompter. It was hot. You were, you know, it was the moment you were announcing. Could he have gone in and cleaned it up? Because for him, it's a badge of honor that he did not.
He took a stand against the mainstream media that is trying to misportray him. Donald Trump, go back and look at the exact words. He said when Mexico sends people. He did not categorize all 11 million illegal immigrants. The mainstream media is trying to portray him as such. He stood against that, and I think that's refreshing and is why he's rising in the polls.
And Hallie, I mean, listen, I guess it could be a double-edged sword. From a Democrat's point of view, I saw a poll where Hispanic would-be voters have just zoomed up for you guys. But by the same token, everyone, I can tell you right now, most Americans are tired of traditional politicians on the left and right. And that's why you've got a Bernie Sanders who's also doing so much better than the pundits thought he would. There's a good chance that by the time a so-called general election comes around, that people are not worried about maybe a gap at the beginning, but all the momentum that Donald Trump has. Aren't you concerned about that for your party?
I am concerned about it. And another thing, you know, I'll point out in terms of Donald Trump, he doesn't have what some of the other stellar Republican candidates have, and that's a lifelong commitment to conservative principles and a real policy agenda for how to take this country forward. We're not going to win on anger. We can capitalize on anger early in primary season, but we can't win on that sentiment. We have to have solutions, and we have to have a positive focus for the direction that the party and conservative policies can take this country.
Real quick, 10 seconds, Kayleigh. I tell you what, though, you guys, the GOP's lost the last two, so some people say maybe we should do some things out of the box.
Sure, and Hadley, I agree with you. He may not be the nominee because he doesn't have conservative actions behind his conservative words. Nonetheless, he's good for the party. He's pushing the GOP towards the right.
I tell you what, he made what would have been a really sleepy early part of the election cycle hot and exciting, and the GOP should be happy about that. Ladies, have a great weekend. Appreciate it.